Hello, my friends. This is Becky. Welcome back to my channel. On my channel, in case you are new, I am going through my good midlife crisis, where I have been journeying through my 40s, working oh so hard to get my poop in a group. In order to do this, I have been working on my physical, my financial, and my mental health. And today's video is going to be a financial health check-in. I am going to be closing out my budget for June of 2023. This is actually officially the close of the second quarter, but I did not do a debt update. I will be doing one of those. But y'all, it's 8:41. I don't think you can see that, but it is 8:41 on like a Thursday night. And I'm just now getting this video filmed because I forget how full my house is in the summers, and I love it. I am not complaining when the kids are here, but there's just always somebody somewhere, and it's hard to find time to film. And then also, I'm busy. I have stuff going on in the summer, so I have like all these videos. In case you're not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. If you're not new, you'll know I've been working on a toolkit feature for my YNAB, a video for that for like the last 2 months. And I've been working on this for so long that they've actually changed it, and I've had to like start over again. So it's just, I'm going to have to start again. And then this weekend is busy, and next weekend is busy. Also, I talk a lot. Sorry. So anyway, welcome back. I'm going to be closing out my June budget. First, as always, beautiful stickers from Life in Envelopes. I will link her Etsy store below. This month this was the mystery kit for June, and this is not exactly my style, though I do really like these colors. It's a little bit more like in your face. I'm more of a pastel person, but this is still really pretty. I love these colors. This is so pretty. Anyway, I love her stickers, and if you also do paper budgets and you like stickers on yours, I recommend her channel. I mean, her, well, she also has a channel, but her Etsy shop, and I will link it below. So in June, I actually ended up with 8 no spend days, so yay me. I didn't hit my 10, but I did pretty well. And then I had 3 goals. I had one for my physical, one for my mental, and one for my financial health. And I did meet 2 of them. I did not meet my physical health goal. If you have been following that journey, you will know that that has been kind of up and down. Like I started the month at 266.8 and I ended it at 267.6. So I actually went a pound up, but not from where I ended May. I'm actually a pound down from where I ended May. This week was just kind of an anomaly week. This day. I don't know how I lost so much weight that one week, but it kind of threw the whole rest of my month off. But I'm not going to hyper-focus on the scale, so I'm not going to set any more weight goals. I am still working on my health journey. I'm just not going to focus on the scale anymore. For right now, for the summer, I'm going to give myself the summer to just focus on other like non-scale victories. Somebody commented last week on my last health journey and said that her husband is incentivizing her with a puppy. If she walks 30 miles, I think it's a month, she's going to get a puppy. And I'm like, what an amazing incentive. Right, Poopy? Yeah. I mean, I would just double up on that because that would be an amazing incentive to me. But I have 2 dogs and a cat, so I don't think I can get another puppy right now. But anyway, so just find something that will incentivize me to keep going, but that's not a number on a scale, because I am losing weight. I am feeling healthier. I am losing inches, which I need to do my measurements too. I am feeling better and my health is improving, but it's just not showing on the scale right now, so I need to find another way to measure that. So I'm not going to set a weight loss goal. However, I did pay off my Saver One card, so that was the 0 interest card that I had all of my cruise related charges on, as well as some propane tank refills for my mom. So that I did finish paying that off. I needed to pay it off by the end of August, or the middle of August or something. So I paid that off in June, and then I wanted to start therapy for my mental health goal. And I did start therapy. I've been doing that. I had an initial like just meet and greet session, and then I have had 3 actual sessions since then. I had one today actually, and I'm really glad I started that. It's only been 3 sessions, and I feel like I've already made some progress. So, as you can see, this has been a pretty spendy month. I've also had a bunch of doctor's appointments. I had a GI appointment here for my gastrointestinal follow-up. I have celiac disease if you are new. I also have stage 0 fatty liver, which means it's like just the very, very beginning stages of fatty liver. But they want me to start like working on it, which is part of the reason I am focusing so much on the weight loss for the fatty liver. I had another GI appointment here because I had to go for a fibro scan for the liver, just to see how that was doing. This is where I had my first therapy appointment. And then I followed up with my weight loss doctor / nutritionist on this day. So those were a bunch of appointments. I spent a lot of money, but I did not eat out very much, I don't think. Well, I said that, but then I see Longhorn Steakhouse, and I see La Tapatia, and I see Hardin, and I see Hardin. And I see Hardin. I love nachos. Nachos are like my kryptonite. I told somebody that kettle corn is my kryptonite. Kettle corn is my snacking kryptonite because it's sweet and salty, and I kind of crave both of those things. But for food, it's definitely nachos from La Tapatia. They are the best, and I love them. And I didn't go get them today. Maybe I'll go get them tomorrow. But anyway. So yeah, and then this is where I paid off. I actually paid it off right here on the 16th, my Saver One card. So this is what my June looked like overall at a glance. And so let's flip into week 1 and we'll do the breakdown. Okay, week 1 of June for me went from June the 2nd through June the 8th. So something that you will notice for June is that I did not have I did not pay my rent the first week because this starts on the 2nd. So my rent actually came out of my May budget. If you watched my May closeout, May was very expensive. When we get to the comparison at the end of the month, at the end of this closeout, you'll see what I spent in in May compared to what I spent in June, because I paid like both my, what month comes before May? April? I paid both my May and my June rents out of my May budget. So that was a very expensive month for me. I had rolled over $275.48 from my May budget. And then I had a cash back, which is from one of my credit cards, of $2.42. So that gave me a total income for this week of $277.90. The bills that I had due were my YouTube Premium, which is $12.98. I had anticipated it being $13.09, but it was a little bit less, like what is that, 12 cents? So good for me. 11 cents, I can't math. Adobe Express, which is how I make my thumbnails, that is $10.81 a month. And then my Aflac, which is my supplemental health plan, that is $37.57. This is for my cancer policy. The other Aflac plans that I have come out of my paycheck, but this one was not offered by my company. So I maintain this one privately. So hopefully I will never need it, but if I do, I definitely want to keep this up. That gave me a bill total of $61.36 for this week, leaving me $216.54 to pull down to my envelopes. The way I do my cash envelopes, okay, so if you're not familiar with me, I am a digital cash stuffer. I do not use physical cash. I do everything with a card. Most of the time I use a credit card to pay for things, and then I pay my credit cards off at the end of every single week, with the one exception to that Saver One card that I had put my cruise-related expenses on, but that is also now paid off. So if I charge anything to it, I will also start paying that off at the end of the week as well. So I have no cards that carry a balance. All of my cards are at zero, and I swipe them and I use them as if they were cash, and then I pay them off. So that's how I get the little bit of a cash back, because my cards offer, the two that I use primarily are my PayPal MasterCard and then the Venmo Visa, and they give me cash back, so I use them. So I give myself $50 for dining out every week. I budget $75 for groceries, but I actually ended up going over, and I've been going over so much in groceries. Like, I went over again this week, which is not going to be in this budget, but I did. I went over this week. $10 for fun money. This is just my whatever I want to do with it money. Go to a movie, pay for snacks, go to a Renaissance fair, go to a museum, go do something fun. This is my fun money. Ecclesial expenses is my church donation. I used to draw out the $60 in cash and leave $20 for a meal afterwards and put $40 into the donation. But because I've been so focused on paying off that Saver One card, I've been using my card to pay for the meal. So I draw out money in cash, the $40 for the donation, and then I'd use the card to pay for a meal, and whatever was left would roll back into my budget. Where before, if I had anything left in from the cash, whether I used it or not, I would put it into my piggy bank as like extra savings toward the end of the year. But now I'm just leaving it in my budget to roll over back into my budget. I also pulled $12.73 out of my gas budget to cover some of my overspending in the groceries. So that gave me a total of $195 for this section, which is exactly what I had budgeted, leaving me $21.54 to roll into week 2. Week 2 for me went from June the 9th through June the 15th. All this writing at the top is just for me doing my YNAB check-ins in the mornings on Friday morning, and I was keeping track of my days of buffering. So that's what this are, my age of money and my days of buffering. I did that for a couple of weeks. So my rollover from the previous week was that $21.54. I had a paycheck, which was $16. Oh my goodness, that would be bad. $1,673.44. I got an extra penny this week. I don't know why. Seth is a friend of mine who has a car that I have financed in my name. I've gone over this so many times, but basically I had financed a car for my niece. I was no longer able to afford that car when my niece moved out. I made a bunch of horrible decisions after my sister passed away, and I just kind of I didn't handle grief well, and I tried to fill a void with buying things for myself and for other people, and one of those things was a car for my niece, which I could not afford. This was pre-budgeting, Becky. This was before I started to get my life in order. But anyway, fortunately, a member of my church, Seth, was in need of a car around that same time, so he took over payments for various reasons. He hasn't been able to transfer it into his name. One is because of when COVID was going on, and now because of the interest rates, and it's going to be paid off in a year, so like a little less than a year. So he just pays me every month for it. And then I had another $1.12 of cash back. That gave me an income total for this week of $2,146.10. And this $450 is for his car payment and also for the insurance, because since the car is in my name, I have to insure it. The only bill that I had this week was my OneDrive. This is where I put my Microsoft Office subscription. That is for Microsoft Office 360. And then also gets me extra storage on my OneDrive. And then I also leave a couple of extra dollars in here for my Instant Ink subscription. That's the only thing I had. So that was a bill total of $10, leaving me $2,136.10 to pull down into my envelopes. Those 4 envelopes that we discussed last time, dining out, groceries, fun, and ecclesial, those are you're going to see every week. I put those in every week. So dining out, I give myself $50. Groceries, I stuck to the $75 this week. Fun, got $10. Ecclesial was $59.34. That was pretty close to exact. These are weeks that I think I've been going into Lampasas. And when I go into Lampasas, I end up actually spending more money because I buy food to take to the potluck. And so that costs a little bit more because I'm feeding more people and like buying food for everybody. And then since this was a paycheck week, every paycheck I give myself $25 toward my self-care and $50 for gas. But I didn't need the whole thing for gas, so I only put $45.28. I pulled some of it out to cover other expenses, and then ended up putting $5.38 into my household. This is for things like paper towels and toilet paper and things like that. When the kids are here, my roommate's kids come in from out of state, and when they're here, we typically eat off of paper plates, just because 4 people eating, Nathan and I both work from home, and the kids are here all day, 4 people eating all day at home, I don't have enough plates for that. We'd just be constantly running the dishwasher, so we eat off of paper plates when they're here normally. That gave me an envelope total of $270 for this week, leaving me $1,866.10 to roll over to my extra savings. I did not have any sinking funds or extra debt because until my Saver One card was paid off, all of my sinking funds were on hold. Plus, I normally only do those at the beginning of the month, and I did all of my beginning of the month stuff for June actually in May because that's just I got my paycheck in May. I am doing my 52-week challenge, which I do backwards and forwards. It works out to $53 every paycheck. And then I save $1 a week for my great nephew, my baby Joe. That is $2 out of every paycheck. So that is a savings total of $55. And that leaves me $1,811.10 to roll into week 3. Week 3 went from June the 16th through June the 22nd. I rolled over that $1,811.10. My doctor's office, my GI, gave me a refund of $48.28 just back onto my card because I had overpaid them. They told me how much. I have a high deductible plan, and when I go in, they just kind of estimate how much they think I'm going to owe based on what my insurance anticipates the payment to be, my responsibility to be. And so when they actually submitted the claim, my insurance didn't charge as much as they anticipated, so they refunded me $48.28. I had used a card. They just credited it back to my card. And then I got cash back $17.77. This is a little higher than it has been because this includes Venmo. Venmo only cashes out once a month and when my statement closes, so once a month this will be a little bit higher. And then I officially qualified for AdSense this month, so thank y'all so much for subscribing and following and supporting me. I really, really, really appreciate y'all. But in order to test your account, in order to like make deposits, they had to do a test deposit, and they gave me 14 cents. I kept expecting them to take that back, and they never did, so I finally just put it into my budget so it would all balance out. So, okay, I made 14 cents from Google for no reason whatsoever. I don't know if they'll take that off my first check. I have no idea, but whatever, I made 14 cents. And then, so that gave me an income total of $1,877.29 for this week. The bills that were due. I had Planet Fitness, which is my gym membership. That is $27.11 a month. Audible is my every other month membership. That is $9.20 I set aside every month, and every other month they charge me $18.40. I am seriously considering canceling it, but I only have like another week to make that decision, so it may wait until I may do one more cycle and then cancel. I'm not sure, but $9.20 cleared. Well, didn't clear, but I set it aside this week. Saver One, I was making a minimum $100 payment. I think my actual minimum payment was $25 or something ridiculously stupid like that. But I was making a minimum $100 and then throwing whatever was left at the end of my budget toward it. So that was my $100. Mattress Firm is my mattress. I bought a mattress, and this is what I pay. Technically it's only $78 a month, but I pay $80 a month because, you know, you gotta pay more than your minimum payment, right? So $2 extra. This is 0 interest, so this will just be for until I pay it off. And then reimbursable, this is a category where if I go buy something normally it's just for the household, so it's between me and Nathan. And there's my cat. If I go buy something for the household, I'll put it in this category, and so I put it into Splitwise, and Nathan will pay me back at the end of the month. Sometimes he pays me randomly throughout weeks, but if he doesn't and I need to pay my card, then I will just cover it so I can pay the cards at the end of the week. So I put $47.83 in here so I could pay off the cards at the end of the week. That gave me a bill total of $264.14, leaving me $1,613.15 to pull down to my envelopes. The envelope section, again, I have those 4 main ones. Dining out for $50. Groceries went very over this week, almost doubled. I normally budget $75. I went $131.45. So this is a very common thing for me. When the kids are here, I will buy more groceries because I like to buy them snacks that they like. I also like to buy me snacks that I like, and and groceries are more expensive, and I really have not been eating out very much at all. So I've found myself spending more on groceries. I may need to revisit this grocery budget now that my card is paid off and see about increasing it, because I feel like it's been consistently over almost every week. Some weeks I don't hit it, but it's more of like an exception rather than the rule when I stay under budget in this category now. So I might need to revisit that. My fun gets $10 a week, and then my ecclesial expenses was $56.13. Again, I pulled some money out of gas. I just don't drive very much. I drive a Kia Soul. It gets very good gas mileage. I work from home. My church is like 5 miles from my house, and unless I'm going to see my mom, which I had actually been going into Lampasas gone in like two times this month. But other than that, I don't really drive very much. I go up to see my bestie sometimes, but even that's not very far. So I don't use a lot of gas. So $100 a month is really more than I need, but I put it in there in case I need it, but I normally end up pulling it. So I took $22.35 out of my gas budget. I did end up putting $35 additional into my household budget for, I don't remember exactly what I bought this week. I couldn't tell you what it was, but it was probably, what week? This is the week the kids came home. So this was toilet paper for sure. I know I bought toilet paper. I think I bought forks. I can't even remember, but stuff for the house. And then $5.39. This was a greeting card for a coworker's birthday. So that was giving. That gave me an envelope total of $265.62, leaving me $1,347.53 to roll over here to extra debt. And I did not write it in, but this is where I paid off my Capital One Saver card. So this $530.02 went to Capital One Saver that paid off that card. So that was my extra debt section. So after I made that payment, that left me $817.51 to roll into week 4, which is our final week of June. And week 4 went from June 23rd through June 29th. And we almost had a month where I didn't pay rent at all in this month because this month ended before the 1st and it started on the 2nd. So I almost didn't pay rent out of this month, but I did. So let's see how this week looked. So I rolled over that $817.51, and then I got a paycheck of $1,673.43. Nathan is my landlord / roommate / friend, and he, if you've been following me for a while, you already know this story, but if you are new, his mortgage went up very unexpectedly by like almost $500 a month in February, like when he went to pay his February bill. It was very expensive. So we ended up increasing my rent. We talked about it. He increased my rent from $400 a month to $600 a month. He's been working on it, and he finally got it put back down where it should be. So he's decreased my rent back down to $500 a month. We agreed that it was time for my rent to be increased. Like $500 a month is still very reasonable. But he got a refund check from the county for the money that he had overpaid in the meantime. So he decided since my rent was really now $500, he was going to refund me the $400 difference for the 4 months that I had paid the extra $100. So he gave me that $400 back. And then I got cash back from my PayPal card for $3.72. So that gave me an income total of $2,894.66. The bills that I had to pay out of this week, I had to pay my internet bill, which randomly went up by like $1.01. So it was $64.95 instead of $63.94. I don't know why I did that. My debt consolidation. This is a debt consolidation that I took out using my car's collateral to consolidate all of my very, very high interest credit cards. And I am so thankful I did this. I know it's not for everybody, and I know it's not always advisable, but I will say that this is probably one of the best financial decisions that I have ever made. So if you are thinking about it and you do think that it will help you, and you are capable of either not using your credit cards anymore or using them responsibly, I recommend it. If you're going to do this and then just keep using your credit cards, I don't recommend it because then you'll have extra bills. But if you're going to be able to just get rid of your cards or use them responsibly, which fortunately I have been able to do, a debt consolidation, I was paying over $500 a month in just minimum payments, and now I'm paying less than $200 a month, and that has freed up so much money for me to be able to do other things. My Cinemark subscription, this is the movie theater, it is now $11.90. I knew it was going up. I didn't know when. I expected it to go up last month, but so now it's finally gone up. My water bill, I always budget $120. It is never that much. So this month it was $99.53. I think it's a little bit higher this coming month because there's 4 of us in the house now instead of 2 of us, but that's the way that goes. And then here is where Seth's car payment is due. So technically, oh man, y'all, I was so prepared at the beginning of the month. Technically, his car payment is $269.85 plus $55.42. but we always pay the total of what it was. His car payment is $269.85, but it used to be an additional $55.42. But we keep paying the is this Simpton? Yeah, we keep paying the whole old amount, which is why he pays me that whole $450 every month. So my actual, what they auto drafted was $95.90. I think this month it's going to be like $40 that they overdraft or something. And then I make an extra debt payment. I did actually go ahead and pay the rent because I was like, I have it. I'll just pay it. I didn't get paid again. I'm not going to get paid again, so I'll just pay you right now. I put $18 into the reimbursable because that is, I budget $600 for rent, and then it was a little bit less because he actually owed me some money, so that's why I cover it in reimbursable. And then I paid my mom's phone bill, which I forgot to include on my budgeted bills for some reason when I wrote out this budget. And that was due on the 23rd, and that was $61.79. So that gave me a bill total for this week of $1,054.86, leaving me $1,839.80 to pull down into my envelopes. My top four, my dining out, $50. Again, groceries so over. $136.71. Fun was $10.35. I will say this groceries, these are from, if you watched last week's health check-in, this is when I went and found the gluten-free food. So this is part of that is from that gluten-free bakery that I went to. So, well, the two gluten-free bakeries that I went to, so that is part of why that is over. My ecclesial expenses, were $0. I pulled that and I used that to cover other expenses because I actually went into Lampasas. Is this last week? No, Sunday was the 1st. Saturday was the 1st. This is not the gluten-free. I don't know what this is. The gluten-free stuff's in my next budget. I don't know why they spent so much money here. I think it's because I did a couple extra like Costco runs and stuff. Never mind. Ignore what I just said about the gluten-free. I don't know why that was so expensive, but it was food. It was all food. Everything in this category is food. So yeah. Fun money is $10. I put an extra 35 cents in here because my nephew was here, and my nephew came in to visit, and we were going to go to dinner and then watch a movie, but we decided to come home and watch a movie. We have a, right in front of me that you can't see, but there's a large like pull-down screen and then a projector, and we watched movies on it, and we had Guy Ritchie's The Covenant that came out, and so we watched that, and we just went to HEB and got snacks. And I got snacks for everybody in the house, and I had $30 in this category, and my total came to $30.35, so I just added 35 cents to it instead of putting it in my grocery budget because I don't have anything in my grocery budget. Pulled it out of fun. Again, pulled the ecclesial money to cover other expenses. Self-care got $25 because it was a paycheck week. Gas only got $20.46 because I was trying to cover some other expenses. Giving got $138.63. Excuse me, some of this was the money from Nathan that I used to, okay, yes. I used to go to a very nice sushi dinner with my nephew because I don't get to see him very often. This is the father of baby Joe. And he's married, and he lives about a little over an hour from me, but his wife was out of town, and she had the baby with her, so he actually got to come in and see me, and we had dinner, and we watched the movie, so it was a special occasion. He wanted sushi, and so I took him out for sushi. I had to pay for my contacts. I have a contact subscription. I am very, very, very nearsighted. I think it's negative 9.5 or something is my prescription. 975. I don't know. I can't see a thing without my contacts. So these I wear dailies, and they ship to me every month. So I have to cover that subscription. Household, I got something else. And then budgeting, I put $1.68 because I ordered some more stickers. Or no, I ordered pens. That's what it was. I was ordering pens. So my actual for this section was significantly higher than my budgeted. It was $442.83, leaving me $1,396.97 to roll into my extra debt. I will say that I do remember I went and I bought myself a couple of like extra treats because I had the money from Nathan. That's what this was. So I went to Costco and I got myself some egg wishes, which are high protein breakfast sandwiches that are just like egg and sausage and cheese. They are obviously gluten-free because I have celiac. They are, I think, unnecessarily expensive, but I treated myself to those and a couple of other snacks that I don't normally buy for myself because I had the extra money. So that is why that was so high that week. Okay, so to extra debt, Seth's car payment. This is where I made the extra $229.57, I think. I erased part of that when I was correcting this, so I can't really read it. But that is where I made the extra debt payment for him. Saver one went to zero because I paid it the previous week, so there's nothing there to put. So that was an extra debt payment of $229.37. Oh yeah, that says 37. Sometimes you can't read your own handwriting. Leaving me $1,167.60 to put into my extra debt. $53 went to my 52-week savings, and $2 went to my baby Joe for $55 savings total, giving me $1,112.60 to roll into my July budget. That is the end of my budgets, but let's get to the where did my money go sections and see how this all breaks down. Okay, so for June, y'all, I've started filling this out, and I don't know. I guess I like it. I'll see. So for June, I budgeted $553.94 in my home category, and I spent $1,281.60 for a difference of $747.66, and it was 27.71% of my monthly income. That is because I paid the rent, and there were a couple of other things like my household and my groceries that I went over in. So this was more expensive than expected. So that is why that is home, is things that I consider essential for my house. My bills for like my gas, my cell phone, my electricity, and my rent are all included in what I pay Nathan for. And then I pay the water and the internet, those I pay. So all of that is home. Groceries are home. Household is home. Any like pet food, if I buy things for my pets, it's in a pet category in my budget, but when I like sum it up, it just goes under home. Last year when I was doing this, I tried to break everything down individually, and there were way too many categories, and this took way too long. It was way too complicated, and I could never figure it out. So I just decided to simplify it into, this is a household category, this is a giving category, this is a fun category. So that's what these are. So that's everything for home. Giving, I budgeted $240 and ended up spending $317.80, which means I was over by $77.80. That is almost 7% of my income went to my giving. That's high. I feel like that's high. But some of this was for what I did for Joe, and that's probably that. Most of that is that meal. Fun category, I budgeted $240. I spent $301.48. Fun is anything like dining out, my fun, things like that. That is over by $61.48, and I'm honestly not sure why that's over, because I did not go over budget in that category, so I don't know how I went over. How did I go over in fun? Like, I didn't go over for dining out or for fun any of these days, so I must have used some from previous months. I don't know. Anyway, I promise this is right. I closed this all out the other night. Subscriptions, these are obviously subscriptions. I only have a handful, like my OneDrive and my Adobe, but that is, I budgeted $44.71, and I spent $43.26, which was actually $1.45 less than I expected, and that was 0.94% of my budget. That was less than 1%. Medical, I budgeted $64.68. I spent $114.58, so that was more than $50 more than I had budgeted. I forgot to include the contacts when I did this, so I need to make sure I include them in my July budget. So that is 2.48% of my budget. My debt, I budgeted $1,202.29, and that is what I spent. So that was exactly, and that was about 26% of my income. So I'm very happy with that. Previously budgeted, I never planned to spend anything in there, but I have money in that category. So like that's when I spend money out of my self-care, or when I spend money out of my my car, like my car maintenance or something like that, one of my sinking funds. That's what this is. So I spent $78.89 out of that section. So that was over by $78.89, and that was 1.171% of my income. My mom's bills, I didn't budget it, but my mom's phone bill came out, which I should have budgeted it. I just didn't. It comes out every month. I just forgot to write it down this month. So that was $61.79 over what I actually wrote down in my budget, and that's only 1.34% of my total monthly income. I actually planned to save $160, and I only saved $110, so that was under $50. It's probably because I had to move it to medical. So that was 2.38% of my total monthly inflow. And then I was planning to roll over $1,552.04. I ended up rolling over $1,112. Sorry about that, y'all. My battery died, but I think I was here where I was rolling over, so we're just going to start with rollover. I was planning to roll over $1,552.04, and I ended up rolling over $1,112.60, which is $439.44 less than I expected, but that is because I paid rent out of this check, out of this month, instead of out of rolling it into July and paying it on my July 1st budget. So that's why that was so much less. And that was 24.6% of my income. That is a very large percent of my income going into the next month. And so that is going to happen for the next few months, because you'll notice that I get paid at the end of the month for the next few months, which is not the way I like it, but just the way it works when you do bi-monthly. There's only one more page I want to go over with y'all, and that is the breakdown compared to last month. So in May, my total income was $5,948.43. It was I had 3 checks. Well, I included the 3rd check in April in my May budget. So I had 3 checks in there. And so that was a much higher month. And then June, I had $4,545.80. And then I used $78.59 of my sinking funds, so that was a total inflow of $4,624.39. That is a monthly inflow change, so less change from last month of I'm down $1,324.04 from where I was the previous month, which is just slightly less than a paycheck, and it's only slightly less than the paycheck because I also had that money from Nathan. If Nathan hadn't given me that money, I would be more than a full paycheck down from the previous month. What I spent on my home, I won't do percentages again, but what I spent on home in May was $2,144.81, and what I spent in June is $1,281.60, and that difference is $863.21. The majority of that is going to be that I paid 2 months rent in May, and I only paid 1 month rent in June. So that is that. Giving, I paid $505.38 in May, and I did better in June. I was only $317.80. Also, my percentage went down. So that was down $187.88. Fun was up slightly, but again, I took my nephew to that sushi dinner. Actually, I took my nephew and one of Nathan's sons. I would have taken the other one, but he didn't want to go. So $262.82, 28 cents in May, and only $301.48 in June. So that was an increase of $39.20. Subscriptions, I spent $80.55 in May and $43.26 in June. I have canceled Adobe Pro, and then also Audible only comes out every other month. So this has a couple of extra subscriptions in it that June does not, which is why there's a discrepancy there. That is $37.29 decrease from May to June. Medical expenses, I spent $129.78 in May and $114.68 in June, so that is down $15.10. For debt, I actually spent less in debt in June, but that's again because of the way the paychecks work, so I ended up paying extra debt in May, like I paid some things twice in May. But I actually made quite large payments to my Saver One card in both months. It was a bigger payment in June than it was in May, so that kind of made it a little bit closer. My debt payment in May was $1,466.58, which was like 24.5% of my income. And then my debt payments in June were $1,202.29, which is almost 26% of my income. So even though I paid less, it was a larger percentage of my income that I paid. That was a decrease of $265.29 from the previous month. Previously budgeted, the previous month I had used $133.53. And then in June, I only spent $78.89, so that was a decrease of $54.64. My mom's bills, I paid in May, I paid $255.13, and in June, I only had the one bill, it was $61.79. That is because the car insurance and the phone, not the phone bill because that was here, but everything else hit at the beginning of the month, and I paid them twice in May, and I didn't pay them in June other than the phone bill, so that's why there's such a big difference there. This is much higher than it normally is. My change from month to month is down $193.34. When we get to July, I'm sure it will be up from June because I normally pay more than just one bill a month for her. My sinking funds, what I was able to save in May was $694.91, but I was only able to save $110 in June, and that is because I really wanted to pay off that Saver One card. And that was a decrease of $584.91. And then from May to June, I rolled over $275.48. But from June to July, I rolled over $1,112.60. So that is an increase of $837.12 from what I rolled over from one month to the next. So that is a huge, huge chunk of my income right there that went into the next month's budget. So that'll be included in my July budget. Okay, that is it. That is all I have. I know these are always long, so I really appreciate y'all sticking with them and watching them with me. If you enjoyed this, will you please give it a thumbs up so that it will be shared with new people, because that is how the algorithm knows that this is enjoyable. And if you're not yet and you are enjoying this content, please subscribe and come along with me. I would love to have you join me on this or any of my other journeys. For reference, as a reminder for those of you who are not new, and in case you didn't know if you are new, I have Amazon links now, and I will link them in the description box below. If you want to print your own Budget Mom book or any of them, I have this paper linked. I have the pens that I use, the highlighters that I use, which I didn't even show y'all, but these are actually erasable highlighters that I use to close out my budget. So these are erasable, so if I mess up, which I do, I can erase them and correct my mistakes. I don't even think you can tell because I picked a color that's very light, but there you can see the orange. I can erase that. I have both the brights and the pastels linked below. This and then the colored pens as well are linked below. I also linked my camera in case anybody is looking for a good camera, just in cases, because I do really love this camera as well. I think that's all I have. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day. How was your June? How did it compare to your May? Were you able to cut down, or were you like me and just spent extra? And I know July is going to be the same. Summers, for some reason, are always super spendy, super busy. So I try really hard, and I'm gonna make a conscious effort to keep trying. But summers, I always spend more money. My birthday is in July. The kids are here. I go on vacation. It's a church camp. It's not like I'm going on another cruise or a European vacation, but it's still, anytime you leave your home and go somewhere else, it costs money. So summer just always gets more expensive for me. Plus, for some reason, I am going so over on groceries. I really need to sit down and look at that and figure that out. But anyway, let me know how you're doing, and please, I come back. I will be having, I'm going to say I'll record a video tomorrow morning, but that video is going to come out before this one, so whatever. I'll just make sure you turn the bell on so that you are notified when I do submit or do put out a new video. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go because it's 9:30 now, and I've been talking for forever. But I hope y'all are having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will talk to you later. Bye.